to Vandergraaf for sponsoring this Road to Recovery video. Visit their website to learn how the Grizzly Drive drum motor increases the reliability and reduces the cost of ownership of conveyor systems.
Hello again, Kevin Yannick with Pit and Quarry Magazine. We've got back with us David Chereb, president of David Chereb Group. David, great to see you again.
Great to see you, Kevin.
Well, David, it's been a few weeks since we got together via video, and I'd like to talk to you today about aggregate demand, your latest forecast, infrastructure, and things related to that as it's picking up. But let's start with aggregate demand. We're here practically in the month of April. You produced your latest aggregate forecast, and there were some changes for the better for aggregate producers in your forecast. You increased volumes for the 2020 to 2022 period. Tell us about why that was the case. What factored into your decision making, David?
Well, as well, now we're coming out of this COVID pandemic pretty fast, and things are picking up speed. The economy is opening up. State and local governments, on average, have done better than we thought. So they're entering into fiscal years 21 and 22 in better shape. We've just had the COVID $1.9 trillion bill passed. That's going to top up their state and local governments even more. So we increased our forecast a few months ago, and I'll tell you, I think we're probably going to increase it again for 21 to 23 because, they're talking about a new infrastructure bill, and 1.9 isn't enough. So talking about 3 or maybe more, and it feels like there's this mad rush for everybody to get out a store that's going to close, and before that door closes, everybody wants to rush out. They're going so fast and so much, and I'll have to apologize. My father-in-law is a retired Navy captain, and they're putting drunken sailors to shame, making them look like teetotalers, pushing this money out the door. And it goes back a little bit to what I said a few months ago about new monetary theory, which is if you got slack in the economy, if inflation is low and interest rates are low, go ahead and spend for current needs. You have current needs, spend. And you can worry about paying it back later when the economy is doing better. In a sense, it's an aggressive form of Keynesian. And as you might imagine, politicians love it. Did you just say there's a good reason to spend more money? Wow, I'm on board with that, whatever you call it. So that's why I think we're going to raise our forecast. We don't know if they're going to pass this new infrastructure bill, but so far, everything is passed. And so there's a good chance one way or the other it will. One thing I would say about this, compared to the past when you talked about an infrastructure bill, which is mainly roads and highways, now when you talk about an infrastructure bill, it's roads, highway, climate change, broadband, and a few other things you might want to throw in. So your piece of that spending pie is a little smaller. But we never talked about spending $3 trillion before. So even if you get a smaller piece of that enormous pie, it means good things for the aggregates industry. So that's why we're assuming that something will pass. Nobody knows the exact details, but we think it'll be positive, and therefore we're going to be raising our forecast.
Thank you to Vandergraaf for sponsoring this Road to Recovery video. Visit their website to learn how the Grizzly Drive drum motor increases the reliability and reduces the cost of ownership of conveyor systems.